The Flash, issue 12, written by Joshua Williamson and art by David Gianfelice. Gianfelice? I'll go with Gianfelice.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah, so this was the third and final part of this small arc with the Shade and the Dark World, and obviously we ended the last issue with the cliffhanger of Iris and the Shade's wife, evil sort of possessed versions, possessed by the dark monsters from this world. And the issue's pretty straightforward. I feel like there's almost not a whole lot to say. They get to them, they beat them. Wally sort of discovers kind of a new power that he can sort of make pure light from the Speed Force.
Yeah.
And
They have a nice little fist bump.
They save the day, they go back, and Barry and Wally have a heart-to-heart, and Barry is like, I'm not ready to trust you about my name yet, because it's a burden, and he sort of lets Wally understand why he won't trust him with his name yet. And then we end with Barry realising that he, shouldn't bottle himself off and ask Cyrus out on a date, so...
Yeah.
It sets up that, which is cool. I don't have a whole lot to say, to be honest. I think it's fun enough. It looked pretty enough.
Improvement from last issue, I would say.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Storytelling wise. I also love that Wally trying to figure out his name by dropping just
guessing every time, every sentence he ends it with another guess. Isn't that right,
Sean?
Yeah. It's like that. Yeah, Steve.
Yeah. It's a fun issue. I feel like the plot is almost like my only complaint about this issue and the last issue really is that it wasn't anywhere nearly as interesting as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah,
based off the first issue in the arc, and it's been fine. And I'm looking forward to the next stuff, but it definitely is weaker than the first arc.
Yeah, it's again, obviously we got this next is the date night stuff, but then after that we've got the Rogues arc starts, right?
Yeah, that's January, I think.
Yeah, so it's clearly just, okay, let's have a little break, let the artists catch up before we get on with the real story again. And that kind of maybe is the downside to the double shipping, where these miniature arcs in between are a little bit longer almost than the ones we had before, where we'd have fill-in artists for maybe one issue, and that would be like a 2-month break.
I don't even think it's a problem per se though, because as much as here we're saying okay, it's not as good as the first arc. Some of them, in some cases, yeah. First of all, it's not bad. It was still a fun couple of issues, but in some cases though, these little fill-ins can end up being really good. Like we spoke about in Action Comics, the Lois Lane 2-parter ended up being some of our favourite issues of that book before it went on to this current action arc. So
yeah,
I think it's a symptom of the double shipping is what these are, and that's okay. It's not necessarily a good or a bad thing. It's just that's something we're going to have to live with on all these double shipping books.
If it gives Gia Domenico time, then cool.
Yeah, pretty much.
2 months lead time's fine by me.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to say before we?
No, like I said, it was very straightforward. Flashback at the start, tie-in at the end. Yeah, what more is there?
Barry's new Speed Force power, or Wally's rather.
Yeah, they bond a bit. He's asked Iris out on a date. Wally seems to care about not missing school now, and that's kind of.
I think it's pretty funny that John's brought in Patty Spivot to make things different, and once Rebirth happened, she's kind of gone.
Yeah.
And
it was an experiment, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. So the many loves of Barry Allen. They know there's only one.
One true love.
One true love.